Okay, so let's continue. Um, okay, let's do the 4 and 1 with difference of 3, right? Easy. Okay, let's just go here. Oops. 1, 2, I get the 8, 6, 2, 1, right? 3, 5, 3, 3, 5, 1, 7, 4. Um, so look at the 1, right? I can only have 1. Looking at the 6 here, right? So I have 2. I need 4 more black spaces out of the 5, but only one of the 2 spaces here can be a black space. So the remaining 3 will become black, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th one here. So since there's 1 here, that means I satisfy the 1 here, right? Like that, right? That means I get the 5 and 2 6s, 2 5s, another 6. I get the 3. I get the 7, 4, 5. Right, 4 and 3, right? 4 and 3, difference of 1. I have 1 black space here, so I need 2 more up there, which I do. So the remaining space becomes gray. Um, okay, this is, okay, we could, oh, I got the 6 up there. Oops, this one here. So I didn't have to do anything else. 5 and 4, right? Difference of 1. 2 black spaces here, so 1 there. Um, look at the 5 and 5, right? Top and bottom here, right? 1 gray up there, 2 black up here, so I need 2 black spaces and 1 gray. 1 gray and 2 black spaces up there. Right, so I got all those. There's so much I can do. I could go, should I go up? Okay, let's go up. Right, yeah, I mean, look at the 6, right? I could only have 2 more black spaces here. Looking at the 8, since I could only have 2 black spaces down here, the remaining 6 spaces have to become all black spaces like that, right? I get the 7, I get the 6, did I get, no. Okay, 4 and 3, right, difference of 1. 1 black space in this column, so I need to have 2 here. That means I get the 3 and 5. I get a 4. Um, I got that. Okay, let's go down now. Right, 3, 8, diagonal numbers, right, difference of 5. So, like that, right? 7 and 7, right? 1 gray space. Top row, I have 2 black spaces down here, so I need 1 gray here, I need 2 black up there. That means I get 2 8s like that. I get the 7. I mean the 4, and then I get 2 7s. I get a 6, 7, and 8. I could do, right, 8, 7, this way, 8 and 7, right, difference of 1. 2 black spaces, right, that's the most I could have, right? So this becomes gray, and these become black. So I got that. I get the 3, I get the 7 and the 5, right? Yeah, looking at that, I'm going, yeah, this is what I'll actually do, right? So I'm going to tell you what I just did. I don't think I ever explained it this way, but so looking at the 2, since I could only have 1 more black space in this area, right? And now looking at the 8, right? Looking at the 8, since I could have only 1 black space in here, right? The rest becomes black, right? Right? Now, since one of them is a black one, now that means I found 2 black spaces for this one, right? So I got 1 here and the second one here. That means all 3 spaces here become gray, right? So let me just go back. These 3 spaces become gray like that, right? So instead of going through all that, since I know this one, and this one, those 3 will be gray. Um, so I just put a gray one here. I just put 1 instead of doing that and coloring the all black, because if I put a gray here, that means I could do that, right? And I could do that, and I could do that, and I could do that. So I didn't have to color this in manually, right? So when I explain um, in my videos, I don't think I've ever done that. But when I actually solve my puzzles, that's exactly what I do. Um, so there's nothing wrong with doing it the other way, but uh, doing what I just did will save you some time. That's all. Um, but I just thought I wanted to, I just wanted to share that with you, what I actually do. Um, Looking at the, wow, so many things we can do, right? So we could do like, yeah, look at the 3. I could have one more black space in here, right, for the 3. Looking at the 6, since I couldn't have only one more black space here, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more makes it 5, so this has to be the 6th one, right? So one black space here means 1, 2, 3. So I got found all 3 for this. 2 and 1, difference of 1, I need to have at least one black space. I can only have one black space because I have only one empty space, right? And this become gray, right? 5 and 3, right? Difference of 2, one black space, that's the most I could have. On the right, that means I'm gonna have 3 black spaces on the left. Looking at the 6 and looking at the 2, yeah, looking at the 2, I have only one more black space in here. Looking at the 6, since I could have only one more black here, 1, 2, 3, 4, remaining 2 also have to become black spaces, right? So 1, and then the second one in here will satisfy this 2, like that. That means I get 2 2s and 1s and 2 2s here. I got 4 and 4, 6 and 6 and 4, right? 6 and 2, 7, right? Looking at the 5, right? I could have only one more black space in this area, right? So that means for the 8, remaining 7 spaces all have to become black, right? Right, one black space here, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I found all 5 for this one. So and then I got that, right? 6 and 6, one gray, 2 black, right? 2 black spaces, one gray space here. So I need 2 black spaces in this column and then one gray space in this column. 6 and 6, 2 black spaces, one black, one gray. So I need another black here and then another gray one here, right? 7 and 6, right? 7 and 6 going this way, 2 black spaces, that's the most I could have. So the remaining becomes gray, and then the bottom 3 becomes all black, right? Right, 5 and 5, same thing, 5 and 5, 2 black spaces, 1 gray, so I need to have 2 black spaces and 1 gray. 6 and 5, right, difference of 1, 3 black spaces, that means I need 2 black spaces down here, so the remaining one becomes gray. 6 and 5, difference of 1, I have 1 black space here in this row, so I need to have 2 down here. What else can I do? Okay. Remember this? 757, right? I think in my previous video, or maybe the one before that, right? When you see 757, this is what you do, right? I explain in the video why that is, right? Uh, 7 and 5. Um, yeah, I'll just explain very briefly. Right? 7 and 5, difference of 2. That means I could have the most number of black spaces I could have in this column is 1, right? Now looking at the 7, right? I need to have that black space in the middle, right? Because I only have 6 spaces on the side like that, right? So that's 6. So I need to have another one here to make a 7, right? So that means I have to have a 1 black space here. Looking at the 7 and 5 this way. So if I have 1 black space in here, that means these are all black space, right? And then let's look at it this way. So, okay, let me just finish that off. So 7 and 5, right? So I have 1 black space in here, and then look at the 7, right? As I explained before, and it becomes like that, right? Okay, 7 and 5, right? Difference of 2, I got one black space here. That's the most number of black spaces I could have. So there's 1 there, and then 3 on the bottom. So I got the 6 here, I got the 2 sevens and a 6. I got the 3, 6, I got the 5, 7, 5, 7. Um, let's see what else. Okay, I like this one too. Yeah. Look at the 2, right? I could have only one more black space, right? Now look at the 3. Right? I could have only one more black space here, right? Looking at the 3, since I could have only one black space here, these two have to become black space, right? To make 3, right? And since I have a black space in here, there's 1, and then the second one here to satisfy the 2. So these become gray, right? Um, yeah, that one, yeah, this, what I just showed you here, this also looks pretty simple when you look at this, when you watch this video, but this is actually also one of the things that are very hard to spot, very, very hard. Um, but again, the more you play, the easier it is to spot these. Um, so don't be discouraged. Look at the 7 here, right? So one of them will be a black space, right? Definitely. So now looking at the 4, since one of them is a black space, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So the remaining 3 spaces become gray, like that. Right? I get the 7, 8, 8, 5, 7, 6, 5, 7. Um, okay. Yeah, I need to get in this area too. Yeah. Oh, okay. I do see something here. 7 and 7, right? Same number. So I have 3 black spaces in this row. So I need to have 3 down here too. That means I get the 5 and 6 and 3, right? Do I have anything else? Yes, 5 and 3, right? 3 black spaces here, so this one becomes black. Um, okay, 6 and 4, they're going this way, right? I need to have 2 black spaces here, so I only have space for one more. So these become gray here. That means I get the 5. I get the 6, 7, 6, 5. Another 6 and 2 4s here, and then 3, 3. Um, 5 and 4. Okay, yeah, okay. So 5 and 4, right? 5 and 4, right? I have one black space here, so I need 2 here, right? One and second one here, right? This becomes gray. That means 3, 4, 3. I get the 6 and 7 and 7. Another 7, another 6. I get the 5 and 6. Look at the 4, right? I could have only one more black space, right? One more black space in here, right? Looking at the 4. Now looking at the 5, I need 2 more black spaces, but since I could have only 1 here, this one has to become a black space, right? Going back to the 4, I have 1 here, 2, 3, the 4th one in here, so these two become gray. So that means, oops, then I get the 2 3s here, I get 4 and a 5, 5 and a 4, excuse me. Now I'm back in this area. Oh, okay, so this is now it's completely enclosed. So I must have missed something in here. So let's find out what it is. Um, oh, okay, 6 and 5, right? Difference of 1. I have 1 black space, so I need 2 here, so this become gray. Right. Oops. So that, right, comes there. Um, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, this is similar to what I showed you before. This is another thing, another one that's it's gonna look simple, but it's very hard to spot. So looking at the 2, right, I could only have one more black space in here, right? Looking at the 4, right, since I could have only one black space in here, right, this becomes, right? And it also works for the top too, right? Looking at the 5, right? since I could have only one black space here, the remaining four here, 1, 2, 3, 4, they will become black, right? Yeah, so one black space down here means one, and then the second one here, that will satisfy those two here. So in here, like that. Um, yeah, this one also, yeah, it looks very simple, but that's also very, very hard to spot. Um, so, yeah, don't be discouraged because I almost gave up um, playing this. I think maybe at least three times I gave up um, because it was very frustrating because there were no instructions whatsoever, right? Four and a three, difference of one, right? Two here, so three there. No instructions whatsoever. The app didn't come with any instructions. Nothing on the web or the or YouTube. Um, so I had to find everything out by myself. Five and four, right? Two up there, so I need one here. So it was incredibly frustrating at first, right? Four and four, two gray, one black, so one black here. Um, but I just couldn't stop playing it. Four and two, difference of two. I get one black space here, I get three there. Let me just stop for, yeah, let me just explain what I was trying to say. I just couldn't stop playing it because um, I think this is probably the best puzzle game ever, at least to me, because it is the rules are so simple. You could probably explain the rules in like one sentence. So it is so simple to understand, yet like incredibly sophisticated, like complex. Uh, Let me just go out, show you uh, my other puzzles, right? So starting from the very top, these are the ones that I had to buy. Advanced Logic Extra Large, right? And it goes down. Um, you can see that I have like, well, this one I solved the whole thing. Like this one, you go to the bottom, that 90 by 60s, right? These are huge. I mean, okay, let me put it this way. Yeah, that's how big these puzzles are, right? But actually, surprisingly, it wasn't as hard. But these advanced logic variety, these are very difficult. Um, but you could see like how I solved like 877, right? It goes down like that. Um, I think I solved all these puzzle packs, like no exaggeration, uh, close to like, I don't know, maybe 10 times. No kidding, right? um, each time I do it in a different way. So now what I did was I start from the very first one on the top. I will do the number one in each puzzle. Then I'll go down, and then once I get to the end, then I'll go to number two, puzzle number two, and then I'll go work my way up. So all the number twos in each pack. And then once I get to the top, and then I'll do the three again, so on. But the reason why I showed you is because again, to me, this is the greatest puzzle game ever. But yeah, that's why I didn't stop. I'm glad I didn't. And so once I figured out how to do it the proper way, I just had to put it on the YouTube. Unfortunately, I don't think this game is that popular. I think one of the reasons is because it is so hard to learn in the beginning. So I think a lot of people give up. I introduced this game to my friends, family members, but um, yeah, they don't really like it too much. They don't want to learn it. But you just have to like go past that stage, and all the puzzles that I buy, because like each pack will have something that I haven't seen before in any other puzzles. So just from this like simple rule, um, it could get that complex. Um, anyway, so that's the reason why I started to make the video. Um, so anyway, enough babbling. I'm gonna continue. Four and three, difference of one, right? So one black space here, I need two, so this becomes gray. Six and four, difference of two, so I need two black spaces here, three gray here. That means I get the three. Look at the 4 and 4, right? One black space here, I get 2 gray, so this becomes black. 2 spaces become gray. That means I got that. Looking at the 5 down here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna have one more black space in here, right? And now looking at the 5 this way, since I'm gonna have one black space here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So this becomes gray, right? Oh, I got the 4 up there. That's done. Looking at the 5 here, right? I could only have 2 more black spaces, right? Only 2 more black spaces in this area. Looking at the 6 here, since I could only have 2 more black spaces here, right? 2 here, 3, 4. These 2 remaining empty spaces have to become black spaces, right? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So 2 black spaces here, 3, 4, 5. That means for the 5, I find 2, 3, 4, fifth one. So this becomes gray. That means I got that. I got the 6 and the 8. 2, 2, 2, and a 3. 6 and a 5, and then 2 4s. Okay, so I got completed that corner. 5 and 4. Oh, let me just look at the time. Okay, I'm good. 20 minutes. About looking at the 4, right, I could have only one more black space in this area, right? Well, here too, but now looking at the 7, right, since I could have only one black space in here, right? Looking at the 7, right, I need to have 5 more black spaces out of the 6 empty spaces. But since I could have only one black here, the remaining 4 becomes all black. So I got that. Right, black space here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this becomes gray, right? Looking at the 6, right, one of them is a black space, right? Right, I got 5 black spaces, so one more here. So looking at the 4 now, 1, 2, 3, and fourth one is in here. So this becomes gray, right? So now I get that. I got that. I got the 6 and the 4. I got the 5, and I got 3, 3, 3. 7 and 5, difference of 2. Black space down here, I can only have one way. And then top row, I get 3 black spaces. Then I get the 6, 5, 6, another 6, 7. I have the 5. 6 and 4, right? Difference of 2. 2 black spaces, right? And then 3 like that. Okay, I think that's it in this area, right? Okay, should I move it? Okay, just wanted to know. So now let's okay, look at the 5, right? I could only have 2 more black spaces, right? 2 more black spaces. So oops. Looking at the 8, since I could only have 2 black spaces here, the remaining 6 spaces all becomes black. I have 2 black spaces here too, and then I get 3 down here, so that means I found all 5. So that also means I got the 7, 5. Oops. 7 and 4, difference of 3, right? So I get 3 black spaces here, 3 gray up there. 4 and 2, difference of 2, so 2 black spaces. This column, 1 gray there. Right? Look at the 4 and 4, top and bottom. 1 gray space, top row. 2 black spaces, right? So I need 2 black spaces here, 1 gray, oops, down here. So I got the 7 and 2 3s here. Okay, right, looking at the 4, right, I could only have one more black space. Looking at the 3, oops, since I could only have one black space in this row, in this column, these 2 will become black spaces like that, right? So I got one black space in here, 2, 3, 4. So I found all 4, right? So these become gray, right? So I got the 6 and 2 and 3, right? 4 and 2, right? Difference of 2, so I need to have 2 black spaces at least, which I do. Like that. Looking at this. Now let's just go this way. 3 and 2, right? One black space down here, so the top row become all gray. That means I got the 4, 4, 4, 6 and 3. Okay, I think that's it here. Should I stick around in this? Okay, why not? Let's do 8 and 5, right? Difference of 3, right? So I got 3 black spaces here. I got 3 gray here. That means I get the 7. Um, okay, let's continue. Right, 4 and 1, right? Difference of 3, so you can take that, right? That means I get the 4, 8, and 3. I get the, okay, I got a whole bunch of stuff in here. Okay, 6 and 3, right? 6 and 3. So 3 black spaces here, 3 gray up there. That means I get the 6 and the 3. I have 3, 2. I get the 5. Okay, let's do this. So 2 sixes here, up there. Right. 6, 3, right? Difference of 3, so 3 black spaces and 3 gray spaces up there. I get the 4. Okay, looking at the 7, right? One of these will be a black space, right? Definitely, right? Now looking at the 6 and the 4, since one of them definitely will be a black space, actually I could only have one black space, right? So this one will become gray. Since I have a black space up there, the bottom row becomes 3 black spaces, right? Now looking at the 6 and the 5, I already found a black space in here. One of them is a black space. That means I'm going to have 2 black spaces in the bottom row, which I do, so the remaining one becomes gray. 5 and 3, right? Difference of 2, so I need to have at least 2 black spaces. I only have space for 2 black, right, spaces. So 5 and 2, difference of 2, 2 black spaces here. That means I have to have 3 gray spaces up there. Now I get the 7, right? Okay, 5 and the 4, right? Difference of 1, so 1 black space this way and 2 gray spaces going that way. 4 and the 3, right? Difference of 1, I got a black space here, so I need 2 black spaces there, right? I could only have 1 black space here. That. Okay, so looking at these 2 threes here, right? 3 and 3, right? I have 1 black space, right? I have 1 black space here, so that means I have to have 1 black space here too. I mean, I could have 2 black spaces, right? Maybe, right? But I could only have 1 black space here too, only here. Why? Because let's say this is a black space. That means I have 2 black spaces here. That means I have to have 2 black spaces here. But this is 3, right? I have 4 black spaces. That's why I can go back. I can only have 1 black space here, right? That means I'm gonna have 1 black space here. Now looking at the 3, I have 1 black space, 2, 3, right? So these two become gray, right? And so 1 black space here, 1 black space here. That means this is also gray, right? Get that. Oh, okay. Looking at the 4. No, don't look at the 4. Okay, let's look at the 3. Yes, 3 and 3, right? Top and bottom. 2 black spaces on the top, 1 gray on the bottom. So I need 1 gray here. I need 2 black spaces down here. Did I find anything yet? Okay, I don't think so. Okay, let's look at the 2 here, right? I could only have 1 more black space, right? So only 1 more black space in this area. So now looking at the 6, right? Since I could have only 1 black space in this area, the remaining 5 has to become black spaces, right? So 1 black space here, second one here. I'm looking at the 2 here, right? 1 here, and the second one in this area. So these remaining areas become all gray. Looking at 5 and 5, right, top and bottom, 1 gray, 2 black, so I need 1 gray here and 2 black spaces on the top. I got the 8 and the 6 and the 5, 6. I got 2 threes here. I got the 4. Okay. Okay, 7 and 5, difference of 2, 1 black space here, that's the most I could have, 1 and then 3 on the bottom. Look at the 6, right? I could have only 1 black space, this area, right? Now look at the 7, right? Since I could have only 1 black space in this area, the remaining 6 spaces must become our black, right? So 6 and 7th one in here. Let's go back to the 6 here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. sixth one in here, so this becomes gray, right? Get that, get the 777. Okay. Look at the 3, right? One more black space, right? In this area, one more black space. Now look at the 5. I need 2 more black spaces, but since I could only have one more black space here, this has to become a black space, right? So one, oops, and that means I get the 3. I found the 3 black spaces for this number 3 here, right? I have 1 here, 2 here, and then another one in here. So these room 3 becomes gray. That means I get the 6. I get that. 2 6s. I get the 8 and 2 7s. Right? 7 6, difference of 1. 2 here, black spaces, 1 on the top, right? 7 and 7, 2 black spaces, 1 gray, 1 gray, 2 black spaces in this row. That means I get the 5 and 7. 6 7, I get the 6. Let me just check the time. Okay, it's almost we're nearing 30 minutes. So let me just do this one, and then I'm gonna stop. So this is another one that's kind of hard to spot. Look at the 2, right? I could only have one more black space in here. Now look at the 5 and the 3. I need to have at least 2 black spaces down here, right? The difference is 2. But I could have only one black space, right? In one of the 2 areas here because of the 2, right? So this one has to be a black one, right? Because I need at least 2 black spaces. One here, one of them is in here. So 2 black spaces for 5 and a 3. So top row becomes all gray. And of course, since one of them is the black one, I have another one here. So that satisfies the 2. So it becomes gray like that, right? And likewise, since one of them is the black one, 1, 2, 3, right? So I found all 3. So this also becomes gray. That means I get the 5. Well, I could actually go on like, yeah, but I am going to actually stop. Let's look at this time. So, okay, so let me stop here and then I'll be right back.